Hi, guys. So, we are going to be reading one of my very favorite books. And it's the perfect time for this book because Easter is on its way. All right. This book is by the author that we were studying this week, Jan Brett. The Easter Egg by Jan Brett. So, before we start reading, we're going to look at our learning objectives. Okay? I can identify the main characters. So we're going to be looking for the main characters in the story. We're going to identify them. And number 2 is I can summarize the story in chronological order. So that means put it in the correct order, beginning, middle, and end. All right. Cheer up, cheer up, cheer up. Spring is here. Time to start on my first ever Easter egg, Hoppy said. Each year, the bunny who decorated the winning egg got to help the Easter rabbit hide the egg on Easter morning. Hoppy had been dreaming about being that bunny all year long. Now it was time to get started. Everywhere Hoppy looked, rabbits were working on dazzling eggs. I need an amazing idea, he thought. So now we've met one of the main characters, and that is Hoppy. And we're going to see him the story follows him. This is his story about him. He's the main character. Hoppy spotted Flora planting spring wildflowers in her eggs. The Easter rabbit will love those colorful flowers, he thought, and started picking flowers for his egg. Here's a basket for your flowers, Hoppy, Flora said. Chop, chop, scrape, scrape. Hoppy spied Buster Birch carving a magnificent wooden egg. I wish I had some wood for my egg, he wished out loud. Here you go, Hoppy, Buster Birch said, and he put a smooth, round piece of wood in Hoppy's basket. Thank you, Buster, Hoppy said. Hoppy was hopping along when the smell of sweetness led him out of the woods and straight to the chocolate egg that Aunt Sassafras was decorating with creamy frosting, squiggles, and bows. Hello, Hoppy, she said, and she put some chocolate squares in his basket. Hippity hop, Hoppy exclaimed. I'll make the Easter rabbit a chocolate egg so sweet it will make his whiskers tingle. Then Hoppy saw Granny Irene decorating one of her fabulous story eggs. First, she traced a design on the egg with a special tool. Then she dipped the egg in pots of yellow, green, orange, and red dye, adding to the design each time. So these eggs in the story, those are they're people make actual eggs like that. And it's kind of funny that Jan Brett uses the name Granny Irene because Miss Irene, she makes these kind of eggs. They're story eggs and they are part of her culture, the Ukrainian culture. So that's kind of cool. So in the story, Hoppy's grandmother makes the story eggs, just like Miss Irene. Hoppy couldn't believe his eyes. I'll never make an egg that beautiful, he told Grandma Irene. She smiled. Try, she said, giving him one of her special tools. Hoppy was hopping by Vans Vanderrabbit's garden when he spotted an extraordinary egg. Hans was painting a portrait of the Easter rabbit so real that he looked alive. Fantastic! Hoppy exclaimed. Thank you, Hoppy, Hans said. Why don't you make a painting on your egg? He gave Hoppy pots of paint and a fine brush. So we've met many characters so far, but all of these characters, they are not the main character. This story is about Hoppy's journey. So those are all of the other characters in this story, they're not the main character. When the story the main character is the character that the story revolves around, and this story revolves around Hoppy's journey. As Hoppy bounced along, a loud boinging nearly knocked him off his feet. It was a whirling, twirling, mechanical egg. Whoa, Hoppy said. That's an unusual egg. Would you like to make one? Roberto asked. Hoppy hopped back to the woods and laid down under a tall tree to think. So he's been seeing so many eggs and he's got so many ideas that he's just not sure what to choose. He's got a lot to think about, and his dream is to be chosen by the Easter Bunny, and he just cannot decide. Making a beautiful egg is harder than I imagined, he thought. I guess I don't have to win. I just want an egg that I'm proud of. Suddenly, the woods rang with squawking, the squawking of birds sounding an alarm. Mother Robin swooped down, calling wildly, as if she couldn't decide where to go. An egg had tumbled out of Mother Robin's nest. Inside the perfect blue egg was a baby robin that needed its mother to keep it warm until it hatched. Hoppy knew what he had to do. He sat down carefully and covered the blue egg with his soft, warm fur. I'll take care of you the best I can, he whispered. Relieved, Mother Robin chirped and settled down on her other two eggs. So Hoppy, instead of going out and searching for other ways that he could decorate an egg, he knows that the most important thing right now is taking care of this little egg that fell out of the tree that's so fragile. So he's using his time that he could be making his egg to do something important. Hoppy never left the robin's egg. If it was sunny and warm, he carefully turned the egg in its nest of moss. If it was rainy and cold, he kept the egg covered and dry. So he's really putting a lot of hard work and effort into caring for this robin's egg. At night, wild animals passed by. Hoppy crouched down and stayed hidden in the ferns. Often he heard strange noises coming from above, but Hoppy didn't run away. Every day the rabbits worked on their eggs. Tadpoles turned into frogs, buds swelled into leaves, and Easter came closer and closer. So Jan Brett, she used some wording on this page to help us know that time is passing. So she said, tadpoles turned into frogs. So we know, we did a lesson on this in the fall, that the life cycle of a frog, they start out as tadpoles and they turn into frogs. So time is passing in this story. And Easter is getting closer and closer, just like now Easter is getting closer and closer for us. So they must be in the season of spring. Finally, it was time for the rabbits to take their eggs to the glen. They had forgotten all about Hoppy, who was quietly sitting on the blue egg under the tall tree in the woods. There's Grandma Irene with her story egg. Early the next morning, the rabbits waited for the Easter rabbit. Suddenly, a beautiful wagon rolled towards them out of the mist. Wait, let's go back to that picture. So there's the Easter bunny right there, and he's riding in a carriage with hens pulling him. Oh, and there's all the people, or not people, bunnies, waiting for the Easter rabbit. And stopped. The Easter bunny stepped down from the wagon and admired all the decorated eggs one by one. You all have brought me the most beautiful eggs, but a very special one is not here, said the Easter rabbit. The rabbits were puzzled. Whose egg wasn't there? Fill my wagon with your wonderful eggs, he said. When I return, I will show it to you. So we met another main character, and that is the Easter rabbit. And he disappeared into the woods. And Jan Pratt gives us a little clue right here in the corner. She does this in all of her books. Her illustrations often have a little snippet showing what's going to happen next. He came back with Hoppy looking scruffy and bedraggled. Hoppy has an amazing egg to be proud of. The Easter rabbit told them he kept Mother Robin's egg warm and safe until her baby bird hatched and she could take care of it. So Hoppy, his wish came true. He said, I just want an egg that I'm proud of. And he put hard work into helping the baby robin, and then it finally hatched. The Easter rabbit placed the empty blue shell in the place of honor atop the wagon. So Hoppy's dream came true. He won the Easter egg contest. And now, let's see what that means for him, what his prize is. The rabbits cheered for the egg that had surprised them all. It's our best Easter ever, Hoppy, they shouted. Then the brave little bunny and the Easter rabbit rode off to hide the eggs for boys and girls to find on Easter morning. What a great story. So let's look at, we're going to put the story in, we identified the main characters, Hoppy and the Easter rabbit, and now we're going to put the story in chronological order. And remember, that means in the right timeline. So we're going to go beginning, middle, and end. So the beginning of the story, Hoppy wanted to make the perfect egg for the contest. He could not decide what type of egg he should make. So he went around seeing all of the other bunnies' eggs, and he just couldn't decide what kind of egg he was going to make. In the middle, he continued to visit other bunnies, and he admired their eggs. Then he cared for the baby robin. That was in the middle of the story. At the end of the story, the Easter Bunny chose Hoppy because of all the hard work that he put into caring for the robin. So his dream came true. He had an egg that he was proud of. All right, guys. So, if you want to, for an extension activity, you can use a piece of paper and you can draw and decorate an Easter egg however you want, and you can show it to me by taking a picture and having your family send it to me. All right, second grade, I can't wait to see them, and I hope that you all have an awesome. Thank you for sharing this story with me.